Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
Welcome, wonderful listeners from around the world to Fumble Through!
Fumble through!
A podcast that was once shipped on a deserted island with only a D20 named Chessex to keep it company. Thanks for entering the Fumble Factory and listening as we create for you our special series that is one part radio play, one part role play, and a large dumping of horseplay. We're a group of friends seeking people with like-minded interests, and if that entices you enough to engage...
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and there is a newsletter.
What would be really handy right now is if people could go on and hit like and give us a review. That would really help us with our standings and shoot us up the charts.
Up the charts! As always, sitting at the table of imagination with me is Luke.
Hey, how you going? I've just started off painting things again, miniatures and stuff like that, and I've actually started up a new Instagram. So follow me that on Luke_Fumble3.
That's fantastic. Haven't you started painting your house as well?
No, not yet. No.
You've put that on hold to do smaller things?
Yeah, I've got a house full of miniatures that I've started to paint in, but not a house painting.
Are you using the mini brushes to paint the house?
Wouldn't that be fun? I've done that before.
Yeah.
I did a mural once with my miniature brushes. What kind of miniatures are you painting?
Anything and everything. At the minute, Games Workshop stuff, Reaper, just anything and everything, really.
So you're really just going through your pile of shame right now.
But yes, my very extensively large pile of shame.
My pile of shame is massive, and I'm about to get a
My pile.
Bones 5. About to get Bones 5 in a month.
Oh, no.
So my pile of shame is about to be wardrobe high.
Have you ever gotten a bones pile before?
No, I have not.
Have you seen how many bones you get inside one of those things?
I'm well aware, and I bought a whole heap of the extra massive dragons,
Yeah.
so it's going to be huge.
It's massive. Former star of the show, Mikey, used to get the bones piles, and I remember being there when he got a box for them, and there were so many miniatures. We couldn't have been happier opening, but there was so many there that at the end of it, we were like, it's too overwhelming.
Yeah, we'll have to, when I get it, we'll have to get you guys around. We'll do an opening because it's going to be huge. I did a lot of money in it.
So is that going to be, so that's Reaper bones, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it bones or black bones or a mixture?
It's black bones.
Oh, it's all black
It's
bones?
all black bones.
Oh, nice. Because
Oh, wow.
the quality on those miniatures is
Yeah.
something else, yeah.
Reaper's
it's very
miniatures are great.
Yeah,
Look at Brett. He's like, miniatures?
There's no shame in having piles, guys.
Brett!
Hi. I've been thinking hard work pays off in the future, but laziness pays off now.
Instant gratitude.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, somebody said to me, time is money. Does that mean that if I go to an ATM, it's like a time machine?
Well, it's been nice running a podcast for 15 episodes, and really loved having you on the journey, but it seems like Justin's had a stroke at the table.
Oh.
And Lindsay!
So I've ran out of witty things to say. So I'm going to ask a question that I think the audience might be interested of you, Justin.
Sure, okay.
How are we doing XP in this thing? Is it XP based or is it
Sorry, XP?
Yeah.
What's XP?
experience?
Oh.
Are we leveling up via?
Am I supposed to be tracking that?
I don't know. You tell us. Are we milestone XP or are we monster kill
We're
XP?
Flopsy
or-
stoning it.
Yeah, XP. Look, this is a really weird thing. Like, I guess having never recorded a podcast before, I'm pretty traditional when it comes to XP. I've done it both ways. I've done milestone. I've done adding up your monsters before, but I think this is going to be a whole different beast because otherwise, with the amount of time it takes us to get through a module or to get through an adventure, you guys are going to be second level forever unless I actually get to a milestone. So I think it is going to be a milestone thing.
So in summary, whenever he says.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what milestone XP is. Yeah.
whenever I'm like, oh, I'm getting bored of these second level characters. But then again, your second level characters give me the shits and I don't want to know what they're like at third level.
This conversation's reminding me of something smart I heard recently. Hard work pays off in the future, but laziness pays off now.
My name's Justin and I'll be running the game. Some would even call me the Dungeon Master. Every week we like to discuss something nice and nerdy to get us in the mood to play the game. And if you have a suggestion or even a response for one of our discussions, visit our Facebook page and drop us a line. This week, our discussion is about the creatures we face in our adventures. My question to you is, what is the creature that scares you the most when you play D&D? I'm not just talking about the most powerful. I'm talking about the one that you have an unreasonable fear of, the one that makes you wet your pants, the one that you go, if I faced that in real life, that would make me very uncomfortable. I think it's brats for Brett.
Of unusual size?
No, I don't even think they have to be. Look, he's upset just because I said that.
Episode 13, I think, is my...
So who'd like to start? What is the
I
D&D?
just started. Episode 13, the rat dude. You saw how uncomfortable I was? It's not funny.
We should have really taken a photo of him in that episode. That was great.
You didn't need to dress up.
We should have locked him in that room.
Committed to the role.
Justin always has a rat face. It's fine.
Oh! Wow. Slam dunk.
Yep.
Sorry, can we go back to the XP?
Yeah, I was going to say,
just
Miles,
taking XP
Miles has
off
just
Miles.
died.
It's a milestone.
Oh.
He's only got 2.
Should we call our podcast Dad Jokes now from now on then? Or do you
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
Dungeons and dad jokes. Copyright claim.
I think it's already been done.
So I'll go. I haven't been playing as a player for very long. So I recently faced my first dragon in our other sessions.
Uh-huh.
And that was, I wouldn't say terrifying because I didn't really get to see too much and we were quite low level for the size of that dragon. So I'm going to go with something I've DM'd before.
Okay.
Ghouls.
Yep. I'll give you the ghoulies.
The disease from ghouls is just nasty.
Oh, I thought you said girls. Sorry.
18-year-old Lindsay. Yeah, no, ghouls are, not fun. You fail those fortitude saves, and I am renowned for failing fortitude saves, even if I play a race that has great fortitude saves. You fail that fortitude save, you can't cure it, and then you turn into one, and you fight your own party members.
Yep.
It's not pleasant.
And playing ghouls is usually at the early levels before you can do anything about it. That ghoul, what is it? Is it mummy rot? No, there's mummy rot.
Ghoul
But
fever.
there's ghoul fever as
There's
well.
no removed disease at that level.
And this was worse because not only were you fighting ghouls, there was mosquito swarms. That had
the sturges that
no,
suck
these
your
were just
constitution.
mosquito swarms that had ghoul fever.
Oh,
So you were fighting swarms that also you had to do your fort save to save against
that's
ghoul fever,
awful.
and it was not fun.
that is awful. What about you, Luke?
So thinking really, with my limited experience within the game systems, I think possibly spider swarms. Because they are a pain. Unless you've got something that can lay out like a template kind of damage.
area effect.
Area effect, sorry. Yeah, you're really...
Oh, you're just talking like swarms,
Yeah.
not just spiders, but just swarms.
There's like swarms, yeah.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah.
like, they're really hard to deal with. And
Yeah,
they
they
just
are.
nip away all the time. And yeah, you're in real...
Is that a mechanical thing or is that a Luke irrational fear thing?
Oh, no, that's a mechanical thing.
Yeah. What's your irrational fear thing? What's the thing that you're like, I would not want to meet that?
Oh, well, something classic like a beholder, I reckon.
Yeah.
All those eyeballs. And it reminds me of the little thing out of Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh,
but like
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why is Justin taking notes of everything that we're
I don't
saying?
need to. We're recording this. I now have quite a few things. So ghoul fever tonight.
What about you, Justin?
Me, I am damaged beyond repair by a creature from 3rd edition, an old Dungeons and Dragons creature called a Yanti, which is a snake person. Now, Yanti are just horrid. Not only can they stare at you and freeze you into place, they can charm you with their snake eyes. And I don't like snakes to start with, but when you put them behind magic users and snake people that will just dislocate their necks and eat you like V, remember the
Jaw.
Oh,
Dislocate their jaw, not their necks. Jaw.
yeah, true.
Cool.
So, but just do not like Yanti. Just and we played an entire.
Which one of our
campaign.
aunties don't you like?
we played. We played an entire campaign once with Yanti, and to this day, I have an irrational fear of facing those things. I don't care what level I am. I could be level 20 and a Yanti would come and I would probably have my character exit that scenario No sweat.
I think talking about rats again now, I heard from
Why?
somebody.
Why?
Apparently, rats can dislocate their spines.
You said that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I heard that. I can't remember. I heard it from maybe one of our listeners can fact check that for me. But yeah, then they can get under doors and small
Yeah.
spaces and stuff like that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think they did death stare. It's fine.
Pa-
Ghoul fever, ghoul fever.
It's like in Lethal Weapon, you know, when he dislocates
his
his
shoulder.
shoulder to get out. The rats are like, oh, and then they come in and do kung fu like Master Splinter.
All right.
Yeah. So spiders. All right. So ghouls, rats, and I've already done a room
Beholder,
full of rats.
beholder.
My
The
father
beholder's a bit
has
too.
a rational fear of spiders, I think, because when he was little, they lived in a cottage in like a warehouse over in Holland, and it flooded, and all the spiders from the warehouse would run up to the highest possible point to get out of the flood, which were up his pant legs.
Oh,
So
no.
as a 6-year-old boy, he had to squash spiders that had run up in his pant legs, and so he's got a rational fear of spiders, I think.
That sounds like a scene out of Arachnophobia. That
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Any creature that flies is always a pain in the ass in a D&D game as well.
Yeah, see, you're thinking mechanically. You're
Yeah.
not thinking dark room. Like a vampire would be just, that would scare the shit out of me.
See, I don't think me and Luke have had enough experience playing to have that fear of something that
I'm-
we've encountered numerous times. Or
I've seen the fear in a lot of players, like especially like Mikey
Yeah.
when we've been playing that other game, and like there's a mention of something with a serpentine body, and like
Yep.
you can see Mikey's like, oh,
Oh, he and I share that. He and I were in the trenches in that game, and that's both of us are scarred for life from that. But I'm talking about that thing. Like, even if you haven't played, there are mythical creatures that you're just scared of. There are those creatures that you're like, oh, that's good. Like Twilight really took the sting out of vampires for me, but back in the days of Gary Oldman and that Dracula movie,
then mind flayers for sure.
oh hell yeah,
They're terrifying. Like just that whole aspect of how the tadpole and yeah.
all right. Just writing that down. And now we return to our scheduled program, Fumble Through's Night Watch in the Living City. Where we last left our party of gregarious heroes, we were just leaving TJ's house after telling a wonderful story. We find Flopsy, Miles, and Reg in the town of Crow's Nest.
Misogynist. Where's Piara?
She doesn't exist. She's a figment of our imagination. That's why she never does anything.
Oh.
She was outside. She didn't go inside to tell the story.
She's not in Doc Hollow.
No, she's in Dock Hollow, but she's in the shadows. It's not fair. You guys, every time I roleplay Piara, you ply me for information and you think that I'm going to give you all the answers to everything. So Piara, from now on, I'm only creating characters that either can't talk.
That's right.
or
I'm working on
can't hear.
alienating her anyway, so it's fine.
You are or you aren't.
I am.
Yes, we find our adventurers where we last left our party of gregarious heroes. We find Flopsy, Miles, Reg, and Piara in the town of Crow's Nest.
Well, that was a wonderful little story. Let's continue along our way to the next stop.
I thought we were going to a tavern.
I'm parched. I really could do with a drink, boys.
I don't think we should be really drinking on the job, but we should go check out and make sure everything's okay.
But surely we can get some water. I mean,
If we're on break, surely we can have a drink.
As you round the back of a house, you see a middle-aged woman surrounded by 4 mangy dogs growling fiercely. She's clutching a bucket and screaming in high heaven, "Get away from me! Get away from me, you little wire!"
Well, we better go help her then. Sleep strike.
on her.
One of the dogs.
The scene before you, you see 4 dogs who are basically attacking a woman who looks like she's got a chum bucket. I've turned into Miles. A woman who's got a chum bucket in her hands. She looks like she's going to feed the pig some slop. She's outside a pig pen, and these dogs, these mangy looking, frothy dogs, are attacking her. Initiatives, please.
How big are the dogs?
Just dog size.
Just normal dog size.
yeah, just normal dog size.
So-
As in
big to
toy
me then.
poodle size or Rottweiler
Yeah.
size?
like angry. I don't think poodles exist in fantasy games. I think this is back in the days before people bred out the aggression. I think dogs were still used. Terriers would be around, but
Pills are only for roleplay purposes.
Flopsy, what'd you get?
13.3.
Reg?
26.6.
Oh, Reg.
That's-
Miles?
Everything you did was double mine.
9.2.
But I'm half the size.
Oh, Piara got a natural 20.
Guess what? I rolled for Piara, and guess what I got?
And that 20?
A nat 20.
Oh,
That
nice.
that's not bad at all.
She's not talking much, though, is she?
I think when she's the kind of person that only talks when she has something interesting to say.
She's pretty pissed off at us as well. Remember?
Unlike
That's
Flops.
true. Yeah.
All right, Reg, it's your go. What are you going to do? You see 4 dogs that are in front of you. These are big kind of canines. They're the type of dogs that you would assume are bred for guard dogs, but they're obviously wild.
So I'll kind of like I'll draw my weapons and kind of start. I'm slowly moving towards the dog shouting, looking like, "Ah, move on, yeah!" I'll try and scare them on a bit.
All right, do you want to make an intimidate check?
Oh yeah, why not? So as I'm doing that and I'm walking over, I kind of trip and stumble, and my voice goes really high pitched. I rolled a 5.
Oh, okay. The lady kind of looks at you and she's like, help me, I don't know what's going on, help me. I'm just trying to feed me pigs. You ain't getting none of this. And she holds the bucket above her head. Piara, it's her go. Piara looks straight at you, Flopsy, and she says, I'll give you the touch of guidance. Caden Kalian, guide this man. And she touches you and you feel a bit of godly might come into you. You get +1 to your next attack roll.
Thank you, Madam Piara.
Cool.
I think.
The dogs. One of the dogs turns at the lady with the chum bucket and tries to jump up on it, ruff, 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 trying to get to the lady itself. And it slips over on the same banana that Reg fell over on and falls to the floor. It is not doing well at all. It loses its balance, it trips, and it falls over. The other 3 dogs kind of turn and they look at Reg, who is the closest, kind of making noise with a high squeal. 2 of the dogs run at Reg, and the other one starts looking back and forth between the pig pen, the lady, the bucket, Reg, you guys who are behind Reg, and it just stays there. Reg, the dog on you attempts a bite. That is a 15 to hit.
Not enough.
Ooh, it bites at you, ruff, ruff, misses, and doesn't do anything. The second dog attempts to bite you on a 16.
Still not enough.
Reg ducks out of the way. He's doing quite well. That gets us to Flopsy.
Flopsy's gonna, get out of here, mangy dogs, clap, clap, clap. Claps his hands, walks up towards the dogs, and pulls 2 vials out as he's walking to see if they scatter or not.
Do you want to do an intimidate check?
Sure.
Reg is starting to wonder whether he's going to get slightly burnt here.
I'm
Natural
worried
20 on an intimidate check, sucker.
Natural 20. It's because it's a skill check. It doesn't
That's 18.
The dogs all kind of stop. You make a growling noise and you see them all pause. You don't think you've driven them off, but you've done enough that they've kind of backed off a little bit. They're not as aggressive as they are, and they've all kind of looked and turned at you. -2 their attacks. You're the alpha, Mutt. Miles, what are you doing?
Miles is going to go sleep strike and shoot a sleep fist at one of them. So I need a will save, please.
Which one would you like to shoot? We've got the
The
one
one-
that's standing still, not really sure what to do. The one on the lady who's trying to get to the
We'll
chum
go the one on the
bucket.
lady.
That is a terrible, terrible will save of 12.
It's the sleep.
The one that was on the floor anyway,
Yep. So
You
Ghost
said-
Fist hits it and it,
and it just falls straight to sleep. You see it close its eyes and fall asleep. Reg.
Reg has got 2 dogs in front of him.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to flurry. I'm going to try and deliver some non-lethal damage to both the dogs.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to kick the first one in the side of the face on my right, and then flick back the same foot to kick the other one on the left as well. It's kind of like so that's not going to work. For the first one, I got a 8.
Missed.
You missed. On the flick back, 17.
That connects solidly.
Okay, for 2 points of non-lethal damage.
2 points of non-lethal damage. You see Piara's hands weave the magic of the divine, and you hear a sound come from somewhere near the lady of a giant dog barking. She seems to have cast some type of illusionary spell where there is a loud sound. Ghost sound.
oh crap, ghost dogs.
The dogs. One of them is asleep at the lady's feet. You see the dog that paused didn't really know what it was doing. It runs at the lady itself and attempts to hit her, missing very badly. Gosh, I am not rolling well right now at all.
Keep it up.
And there are 2 dogs still on Reg. Ooh, even with negatives, I think that might hit. 18, Reg.
Oh, just.
Just enough to hit.
Yep.
The dog that you kicked last time, it strikes at you with its canine jaws doing, and this is not non-lethal, 2 points of damage as it grabs onto you and just tears a big chunk out of your calf.
All right.
The second dog that's on you only strikes you at you for a 6.
No, that's not successful there. All right, so now we're going to need to
Run, Luke, run.
Reg, run.
Flopsy, it's your go.
So just to get this right, there's a dog on the lady, 2 dogs on Reg,
Yep.
and 1 asleep.
And one asleep at the lady's feet.
And the dogs are not close to each other then. They've spread out, right?
They've spread out. The 2 dogs on Reg are very close together, and the 2 dogs on the lady are close together.
Yep. So Flopsy's going to put the vials back in his pocket and pull out one of his rations, a hot pocket, if you
Ooh,
will,
Okay.
and lay it down on the floor next to the lady and go, here you go, puppy. Have this to eat. Leave that lady alone. Have this, puppy.
So you attempt to feed it.
Yep.
I really thought I was going to have to make a reflex save there.
It was close. If 3 of them were together, that was a kaboom.
Yeah.
Just make an animal handling
What's that,
check. For me.
charisma or wisdom?
That's a charisma check, I believe.
Is it? 12.
You get a massive bonus for having a piece of food in your hand in front of a hungry dog. You see the dog stop what it's doing, look straight at the food that you're presenting to it, and kind of lick its lips. But it's not its go, so it can't do anything.
So it's laid down in front of it on the floor.
It's, yeah.
And Flops will say, Madam, maybe you should take your leave.
Miles, it's your go.
Miles is going to pull out the gas bow that he got from Gallant and Bean a couple episodes ago,
Sure.
and he's going to take a shot at one of the dogs on Reg.
Sure.
Oof.
We've never seen one of these go off, have we?
No.
So are you holding it upright normally, or are you going for the kill shot?
With what I rolled, I'm probably going for the kill shot, but that's a 7.
A 7, the bolt
And then
flies
whatever negative
straight
pushed it
past.
into combat. So -4, is it?
Yep.
So
You,
There's no risk of that hitting me,
3.
is there?
you hear the as the bolt flies out of the gas bow, the gas expanding from it, a little puff of smoke coming out. The bolt flies straight past, cracks onto the cobblestones on the street, and then flies down a little bit further.
holy shit. That's my go.
Okay.
The lady who is there, she holds a chum bucket. You're not getting any of this. I told you no.
Madam, if you would take your leave, it would be most advantageous for us.
You're not getting any either. Reg, your go.
Okay, flurry again on the 2 dogs in front of me. The first one I get with a 22.
22 definitely hits. Is this
Okay.
the same dog that you hit last time?
No, the other one first. Okay, and that is for 4 points of non-lethal damage. And then the other one, that's a natty 20 with 22 as well.
Yep. That's
so that's
definitely
double.
going to hit.
That's going to be double, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. So that's 2 and another 4. So 6 points of non-lethal to the one that I'd hit previously.
You lay that dog.
Pow!
You lay that dog out flat.
Cool.
You see it just go, and it falls to the floor. It is unconscious. Piera's go. Seeing the gas bow go off, Piera lowers her crossbow, puts a bolt inside it. It's just a normal crossbow. It's not any fancy kind of underground gas bow. Puts a bolt in, lines it up, lines the dog that is closest to the lady who is on the floor, the sleeping one, not the one that you've got the food in front of, Flopsy, but the one that's asleep in front of the lady.
It would be rousing soon, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Well, she doesn't know that. She hasn't really been around for combats before. And she fires. Can someone roll a d20 for me?
She shoots the sleeping dog.
She'd know how long that lasts if she
I rolled-
succumbed to her.
Rolled a natural 19.
At a natural 19, that bolt rings true. Can you please roll a 1d6 damage?
3 on the d6.
3 points of damage slides straight into that sleeping dog, waking it up. And she's like, oh, when did wrong?
I'm delivering non-lethal damage here. What's going?
It's a dog.
Yeah, but
We're told not to kill people.
I know, but they're hungry. They're just hungry.
Speaking of dogs, it's the dog's go. The first dog with the hot pocket or the tepid pocket starts eating ravenously like it's never eaten before. The dog with that just got shot with the crossbow bolt from Piera wakes up, stands up next to the lady that's there. She kind of takes a swig at it with the bucket and misses, and she's still squealing, screaming, saying, get out of here, get out of here. And she's not just talking to the dogs now. She's kind of screaming at everybody as if this whole situation's going bad. The pigs in the pen are starting to squeal because they're sensing the danger that's nearby. There's a dog next to you that's on the floor unconscious, Reg, and there is another dog that is standing up next to you, Reg, and that dog is the only one that remains in attack mode.
Let's go, puppy.
It tries to get you, but as it is intimidated, it takes negatives. That's a 12, and I don't think those
Not
bites are
enough,
gonna
I'm afraid.
hit.
No.
That brings us to Flopsy.
Maybe we should stop shooting and feed them. They're just hungry dogs. And he'll pull out another hot pocket for the one that just got shot and lay it at its feet and ruffle the neck of the one that's eating.
Okay.
I shall call you Commander.
As you put your hand out to the one that's eating, it kind of stops what it's doing. Like, don't come near my food, that kind of thing. Are you doing anything else?
Just trying to make the dogs feel like they can get a feed without having to harass this lady. Lady, it would do really well if you joined your pigs in that pen and leave us to the dogs.
Leave us to the dogs, not leave the dogs to us.
Freudian slip. Miles, your go.
Miles is going to look a bit nervously at the gas bow, and he's not going to fire it again. He's going to shoot another fist at one of the dogs attacking Reg.
Sure, there's only one there.
Okay, well, that one. Yeah, so we'll save, please.
That's an even worse will save. That dog falls asleep
There you go.
and it's on the ground.
He's going
Reg.
to approach as well.
So 2 dogs asleep in front of Reg.
Yep.
One of them I've put down, and one of the other one's just like snoring.
Don't say put down.
Any dogs left up?
There are 2 dogs that are up. One of them has a crossbow bolt sticking out of it, and the other
Eating.
one's eating a hot pocket.
Okay.
The one with the crossbow bolt, it's looking at the hot pocket, but it's a little grumpy. I think the crossbow's kind of maybe taken precedence over the eating.
Reg will take out some food from his reserves, his trial ration kind of thing, and chuck it in front of the 2 dogs that are on the floor, and then start to move toward the one with the crossbow bow in it.
Sure. You can move right up there.
Okay.
And your turn right next to the lady. Piera, you see her pulling a crossbow again and starting to load it. And she's kind of looking at you guys and then looks very confused, looks at Miles, who's got his crossbow in his hands.
I don't know how to reload it.
I don't know either.
Pierre, we just had a conversation where you told us not to be so damned damaging.
He shot first.
I missed.
So confused by this group.
Well, I don't know how to reload it, so I can't shoot again.
You heard of a warning shot? Come on.
And she will then walk up to the lady and she says, I'll protect you. And she stands on the other side of you, Reg. So you're on one side of the lady. She's on the other side of the lady. The lady looks straight at her and swings her little chum bucket and then steps backwards away from both of the dogs.
She swings it at who?
She swings her chum bucket at Piera. Piera dodges out of the way. That'll be the dogs. There is 1 dog that is asleep. There are 2 dogs awake. One of them is continuing to eat, but the hot pocket's almost at its end. And the remaining dog now has 2 people that it can choose from. One is Piera and one is Reg. And it's going for Piera.
Oh.
Which dog's this? I thought one was asleep and one was
One
This
with
is
the
the dog with the
crossbow
crossbow bolt.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
The crossbow,
yeah.
crossbow bolt, unfortunately, is taking its mind off eating for the moment, and now it's just looking for safety. That's going to miss. It's never going to hit. And those guys are asleep. Yes. That brings us to Flopsy. What are you going to do, Flopsy?
Flopsy's going to step in front of the woman so that the dogs can't get to her and go defensive.
Ooh, it's unlike Flopsy. Usually, he would just damage everybody in his path.
Madam, step back into the pen.
What does going defensive mean?
I don't know. I've got nothing defensively about me, but he'll make it harder to hit him. He'll get ready to dodge out of the way of strikes and stuff. So his armor class goes up. He will say to Piara, you told us just in the street back there not to go damaging everything. Why are you shooting at stuff? Maybe these dogs just need a feed and we can send them on their way.
Oi, he shot. What?
Scare the dogs off, woman.
I don't think they're going to scare off. Look at them. They're hungry. You can see their ribs.
Feed them then.
Miles, it's your go.
Sleep strike on the final dog awake.
On the final dog that's awake.
Yep.
Yeah, hang on, that's the one with the bolt in it. It was already sleep stroke, wasn't it?
Was it?
No, the final dog that is awake is the dog that
No, but did I already?
is eating. So the one you
friendly
haven't
dog.
I've
the one you
sleep-striked
haven't
twice.
sleep striked is the only one that you haven't sleep struck. What's the past tense of sleep strike?
I'd say struck. Yeah.
Slup struck.
Yeah. The only one left that you haven't done that to is the one that is currently eating the hot pocket.
I won't worry about that then. I'll go up and punch the dog that is got the crossbow bolt in it.
Okie dokie.
Non-lethal or?
Sure, if you want. That's a 17 to hit.
17 definitely hits the dog.
That is 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage is enough to lay it out on the floor.
We'll do non-lethal because he told me to.
Oh, did you take -4 from your attack roll if you're doing non-lethal?
I have
unarmed combat.
unarmed combat.
Yeah,
Do not need to.
Fine. Whatever. I don't care.
Improved unarmed combat.
Whatever. Not as good as Reggie's. And the dog flies onto the floor. Yeah, it's only got a few hit points left after receiving a crossbow bolt to the belly. You see the other dog starting to wake up now, I would guess.
Yeah, on his turn, you'll wake up.
On his turn, he starts to wake up. Reg, it's your go.
Okay, can I do a heal check on the dog with a crossbow bolt on it?
A heal check?
Yeah.
So you're going to stop to kneel over this dog while there's a dog next to it that's eating a Hot Pocket.
It's all right. Is he in the Hot Pocket, right?
The Hot Pocket's almost gone.
Have you ever seen a dog eat?
Yeah, you have to actually take some time to do a medical check on something. It's not like something that you can do in. It's probably not a combat maneuver that you want to do right now.
Okay, all right then. So, well, if the
Without
Hot Pocket's
leaving
nearly
yourself
finished, then I'll try and shoo off that dog. Yeah, get out of here. Blah.
Okay, so you start. Intimidate check, please.
2.
You are not. You slip over on the
I'm
banana
a
again.
halfling. I'm a halfling. I'm not supposed to be intimidating, am I?
That one banana skin that's in front of where that lady was that fell out of the
It's
chum
stuck
bucket.
to the bottom of my shoe. That's what it is.
It's not doing well for anyone right now. Piara takes lead from that and she also starts screaming, yeah, get out of here, get out of here. And she pulls out a ration and she throws it down the alley away from the lady rather than putting it on the floor at her feet. She says, get out.
Oh, there's the Irish accent. There we go.
Get out of here. Get out. Yeah. Arr. I don't know how an Irish person says arr, oi. To be sure.
Yep. I can't imagine. I didn't understand why we're not successful in Ireland at the moment.
The dogs look up. There are 2 on the floor just not moving. One of them's just woken up. You hear them go, and they both retreat down the alleyway towards the food where Piara has thrown it, leaving 2 unconscious dogs in the alley with you.
Feed them to the pigs.
These are poor, unfortunate creatures left to the dregs of society. They have obviously not been fed for quite some time. We could take pity on them or feed them to the pigs.
I'm just saying, I'm a farmer. We do when some wild dogs come onto our land. You know?
It's about time. Decent folk can count on the city for nothing. What took you for so long? I suppose you want something for your measly effort, don't you? Not here, no, sir. You're not getting anything from here. Get moving, get out of here. People are waiting for you to do your job. What are you standing around jawing for? Even a city big and rich as this can't get no good help. Oh, you're and she starts walking off towards the pig pen. Save my life. I don't think they save my life. Bloody watch nothing.
What a delight.
You're very welcome, my lady. You're very welcome.
She moves off into the pig pen and you can see her feeding the pigs.
Such a
mumbling
lovely
to
lady.
herself.
Miles, perhaps a sleep strike on that lady once she's in.
Well, she's in with the pigs.
Well, you're welcome. You're from the Night Watch, here to serve. Walks off. That's 1 Hot Pocket I've lost today. 2, actually. Can we get hungry later? We might have to stop off at the tavern.
I
and pick
really
up some
think we
Hot
need to go to that
Pockets.
tavern. I'm working up a thirst here. And it's this is a thankless job. Don't you reckon this is a real thankless job?
How do we reload this weird bow thing, Piara?
I don't know. They're highly illegal things. I think
I kind of need it more from a technical point of view because I don't know if it's a full round action or a bonus action.
perhaps maybe there's a lever. Maybe you could look at it.
Look down the tube.
What sort of knowledge check do you think that will be?
That would be some type of engineering check.
I don't have that.
Some type of engineering.
Let's work with knowledge
It's a 7
engineering.
general intelligence check.
You can see that there's a trigger on it. You can see that there's a big bulb full of gas on the back of it. You can see that there are 2 crossbows bolts still in the mechanism somewhere, and the 3rd one has been shot off.
Flopsy, you're smart. What do you reckon? How do I reload this thing?
Maybe it's voice activated, like Tippy. Can I have a look?
Yes, you can have a
Just
look.
an intelligence
It's
check,
an
maybe?
engineering check.
What about an intelligence check? I don't have knowledge engineering.
It's a charisma check, isn't
It's
it?
going to be a lot harder without it, but yes, sure, intelligence.
15.
You look at it and you're like, oh God, maybe if you pull the trigger? I don't know.
Have a look down this hole while I pull the trigger.
Okay, I guess it's a one-time deal thing.
We'll explore later when
Shall
we've
I
got
try
time.
again?
You could try pull the trigger, see if something comes out.
Is there a piece of wood nearby? Like,
There's 2 sleeping dogs. On
I was going to say
there's
there's a dog on the floor, right?
not that cruel.
There's a lady.
it'd be
There's a
probably
lady in
up
a
and
peg
running,
pen.
right?
Pig. Oh my! In a peg pen.
a lady in a peg leg over there.
She went in the peg leg.
Yeah, is there a door or something nearby?
You want a target to shoot it at?
Yeah, I'm looking for a target. Bale of hay, barrel, maybe.
Yeah, there's plenty of pieces of wood. There's fences.
I point at a barrel or something nearby, a piece of wood, and pull the trigger and see if
Okay.
anything happens. Do I need to roll?
No, nothing happens.
Are there any ducks in there?
That's
I
why
don't know.
it didn't go off.
I guess there needs to be some sort of reload capability.
It's fish too.
Fish, yes.
Oi, I don't think you should get that. Put that away. Those
You-
are highly illegal.
You're the one that told us to take
Yes,
them. in
we
the
said
first place.
take that. We don't want them on the streets.
I put it back away. It's useless for me to figure out how to reload it anyway.
Maybe we can ask someone at the tavern how to use them. To the tavern. Red Sail Tavern, I think. Down this way, I believe, just outside the walls, in the turn of the wall over here.
You walk out into the street. The mist is surrounding again, back down to that 30-foot kind of view. In the mist just in front of you, you see the light of a lantern just walking towards you as if somebody's walking.
With the watch that we're part of, are the lanterns standard? Like, do they have similar lanterns? Or
It's a bullseye lantern that you've got, and you've got a little coloured sheet of glass that you can put in front of it to identify you as part of the watch. This is just a lantern. That
okay, so it's
somebody's
not
holding.
okay. So it's not another watch party then, or anything like that. Not that they should be in our
Not that we
area.
know of yet. But Tippy's lit up as we're traveling. Sure, he would be lit up.
How does that work? Light coming out of his eyes?
Yeah.
That is creepy.
Yeah. Like one of those shoulder torches.
Yeah.
Like a predator. Like,
Yeah, lantern coming down the street in the fog.
Hello, out there in the fog. The watch coming. Name yourself,
I
please.
try and blow my conch.
Go on then.
What do you want? What?
Skill check.
Skill check. That's a natty 12 on the roll.
You blow into that conch again, and much like last time, you get a kind of sound that comes out of it. There's not much more. You get, again, you're like, oh, conch.
Reg looks to Miles. That was actually better than the last time, mate. Good one. Yeah.
I think I'm getting the hang of it.
You get it now.
In response to you calling out down the street, you see the lantern kind of move downwards as if to waist height. And then you see the light from the lantern flicker a little bit as if it's being pointed or covered with something. It's muted, but it's still there. And you can
So when-
definitely see the light.
When you say waist height, you mean head height?
yeah, obviously they were holding it up
above
in
head
front
height
of them. And then they've dropped it down.
I whispered to Floppy.
to Reggie's head height.
Remember, Sergeant said we shouldn't announce ourselves unless we really need to? I think this is one of those times.
Too late. I did it.
Reggie's going to move into an area where he can stealth, so like kind of hide.
So you move off to the side of the street?
Yep.
Cool. Flopsy, what are you doing?
Straight down the alleyway. How far away is that?
So you're in the main street. You've moved out of the alleyway into the main street. But
If it's close enough to run, he'll run at it because he doesn't want to disappear.
okay.
Something's going on.
Miles, what are you doing?
Miles is going to keep walking down as well, but he's going to go, Tippy, watch for danger. And get Tippy
So
out.
Flopsy immediately starts running down the street. Reg moves off to the side.
So Reggie's kind of like going to move parallel with Flopsy as best he can.
Okay.
Do I need to make a stealth check?
Yes, don't forget that if you're making a stealth check, you're going to drop your speed significantly. So you won't be able to keep up with Flopsy. You actually halve your speed.
Okay. I'll just move parallel with him then as best I can. I'm still only got a 20-foot walk.
And Miles is just continuing his walk down. Piera stays with Miles walking down the street.
Has Pierre got the bullseye lantern that we...
Yes.
Yep, cool.
As you move into the mist, Flopsy, the mist gives way and you see further and further and it closes in behind you, releasing that 30-foot. You get to where the lantern guy is and you see a man. He's wearing a large floppy hat. He's got a large leather jacket on. You see him fumbling something out of his coat. He looks at you, holds his lantern up. He pulls a holy symbol, brandishes it in your hand, says, "Stop right there. Do not come any closer."
Does Reg hear that?
Yeah, Reg hears that.
Does Flopsy shriek in pain?
What are you going to do?
Flopsy will stop, hoping his 60 foot of dark vision helps him to understand if it's just one man or many.
Just one man.
And we'll put his hands up and go, I want no quarrel. I just want to make sure you're okay, making sure the peace is being kept in the city.
It's at this point you can see that there is a pointed stick that he also has down the bottom of the holy symbol. So he's holding a stick sort of in the bottom of his hand, as in an underground, and he's holding the holy symbol on top, brandishing it for you.
I wonder why Justin mentioned vampires at the beginning of this session.
Yeah, me too.
He walks up and he says, "What are you doing here on the streets at night?"
I should be asking you that question, sir. I'm part of the Night Watch. This is my job. What are you doing on the streets out here at night?
You are part of the Night Watch? Where is your other friends?
My friends are looking at you right now from the shadows, making sure there will be nothing untoward happening. Should anything happen,
Something like this? And he holds the holy symbol right in your face and he looks at you intently as if to see if you have any reaction to the holy symbol.
No, not like that, sir. Something a bit more aggressive and problematic. You can put that down now. Thank you.
This is very good. Says,
What is your name, sir?
we are not safe here. You know this, don't you?
What is your name?
My name is Jack Harker. Harker is the name. Vampire Hunters, the game. Been hunting the vampires for years. I thought I had one tonight. Before you scared him off. I've got some important information that I paid a lot of money for about a local vampire that is here in town. We are not safe. Have you seen anything weird?
By about this time, would we be approaching?
I was going to say, is he just talking to Flopsy still and I've been moving around behind him?
Unless you are doing anything to reveal yourself, Reg, he doesn't
No.
know. But yes, by this time, Piera and Miles come in out of the distance. You see him immediately react to that, hold his holy symbol up again and says, "Stop right there!"
Miles just kind of... Can Miles identify what holy symbol it is?
Yeah, knowledge, religion, please.
Never mind.
No,
Can Pierre identify that holy symbol, please?
no, Miles cannot identify that holy symbol. Jack Harker walks up to you and says, these are your friends from the watch. And he holds the symbol up again in each of your... Very good.
Get that symbol out of my face before I break it.
You will not break my symbol, boy. There are dangerous things here at foot. More dangerous than you could ever think of. We are hunting a vampire.
I don't know. We've seen quite a lot tonight, so if there's more out there that we should be aware of, it's probably your duty to tell us.
What is that? And he looks straight at the rat that follows you out of the mist, the rat that followed you from the rat man. That is one of the unholy. And he brandishes his holy symbol at the rat, which reacts nothing to him. Everybody knows the vampires can commune with rats.
Interesting, because this rat is one of the weird things that we've encountered. Apparently there is a piper or someone that is taking rats away. And there is a guy that wanted us to track this piper down. Could this be your vampire?
Oh, this sounds very suspicious. I was on my way to the Red Sail Tavern. There is some information there that we might need.
Well, that's a coincidence, because that's where we're heading to.
Why don't we go there together? Perhaps I could teach you a lesson or two in how to defend yourselves against the bloodsuckers.
I think that'd be very handy.
It is only a couple of blocks from here.
Sense motive.
Yep.
That's a 5.
He thinks he's the shit.
Yeah, he flips his cloak around. You can see there's a bandolier full of steaks down one side. You can see some garlic on the other side of his cloak.
Nice.
And he says, I will show you a thing or two, child. Come, let us go.
I love the fact that I have such a bad sense motive because it really suits the whole naive country bumpkin kind of role.
So at which point Reg behind him now will go, finally, we're going to go get a drink at the tavern.
What? Turns around, holy symbol straight in your face. You could have warned me. I could have killed him.
I did tell you that my colleagues were waiting to make sure that there was nothing untoward. Mr. Harker?
That is correct. Just remember, once the yolk is out of the egg, there is no putting it back in.
We thought, you being such a respectable vampire hunter, you would be well aware that he was right there.
This is what I'm saying. I could have killed him. I could have mistaken him for the vampire.
Oh, someone of your
Esteem.
esteem would not have made such a mistake.
Correct! And he flips his coat around and he says, to the Red Sail Tavern! And he,
Come, Jack, let's go to the tavern. Now, I remember meeting a Harker once who were married to the Loogie family. Are you part of the Harker Loogie family?
your jokes are terrible. Stop making them now.
I flourish my coat, imitating him.
So, Jack, vampire hunting, hey?
This is correct.
Have you been successful? How many vampires have you caught?
I am still alive, and I not.
True.
Yes,
but how many of you actually killed?
The
Surely a man of your stature, your standings, got some tales to tell?
Ha 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 ha! This is something that you need to know. The vampire is already dead. There is no killing the vampire. It is already dead.
Miles pulls out a notebook and writes, vampire already dead.
Good one. That is correct.
Mr. Jack, how many vampires have you encountered actually in the dead flesh?
More than I could talk about right now. It would send chills up your spine and through those horns of yours. It would straighten that floppy tail of yours.
As we're having this conversation, I did tell Tippy to go look for danger.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make like a perception check? See if
Sure. Remember that you can only see 30 feet.
10 total.
Through the fog, you hear an argument as you approach the building known as the Red Sail Tavern. I don't care who you are. You don't look like no city night watch to me. Now listen here, mate. Either you pay us 40 silvers or we come in there and trash the place. You know what I mean? I thought you were supposed to uphold the law, not break it. We do uphold the law. 40 silvers is the law and your place is safe for the night, governor. Ha 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 ha. We promise.
Can we see them?
You can hear that as you're approaching.
I kind of signal to Reg and Pierre and I'm like, let's go. And we kind of like emerge out of the fog as quickly as we can.
So you emerge out in front of the hot fog. You see the Red Sail Tavern in all of its glory, a shanty town. This tavern is made from old boats that have been pulled apart, and you can still see parts of the paint from the different lacquers of boats that are making up the wooden on the outside. The sign that has a red sail on top of it, and it's got red sail there with a masthead of a mermaid in all of her glory. You see out the front an owner, a large burly man in a white apron, talking to 4 ruffians that are in front of him. The ruffians have a lantern held up with the night watch symbol that is sit on there. They have armbands on.
Have they got the blue thing in the lantern?
No, it's just a clear lantern with the N for night watch that is over the top of it.
Here, excuse me, gentlemen. I thought this was our area. We've been tasked with doing that. We got, and I like whoever's got the lantern with the blue thingy. Like, this is our area. What are you guys doing here?
Here, Jonas, those are the ones that stole our lantern. Oi, give that back right here.
Reggie reaches for the flare. No.
Reggie's wearing flares.
That's great. I love it.
I think you should stop what you're doing and run along.
What do you mean run along? We are the watch. These guys are here, right here, and we're protecting this. And he looks right at the guy with the apron on. He says, we'll protect you from these hooligans. And they turn around. Initiatives.
Oh, shit. Straight in.
Right.
Natty 20.
Good. Not bad. What was it in total?
22.
Here it comes.
Do you want it?
Now remember, boys, no lethal.
Reg, what did you get?
I rolled a 4, so I get 10.
That's not bad.
That's good.
What did you get, Flopsy?
17.3. Oh, sorry, 20.3 is what the number is. 20.3.
Okay. Miles?
Okay.
22.2.
Really annoying. The last couple of characters I've built, I've given them improved initiative,
Yeah.
and I always roll shockingly on initiative.
Yeah.
I'm changing my dice. These dice are terribly rolling
Keep
today.
them.
Oh, that's not any better. That is terrible. You should be better at this. Miles, you get the drop on them. These guys look, turn around at you and they say, we'll sort them out. They look like they're about to start a scuffle with you.
Remember, boys, non-lethal. And he's going to charge in and he's going to sleep strike the first one he can get to.
Sorry, just one trick pony.
How many of them are there, Justin?
There are
4.
4 of them.
Cool, make it work.
So that's a natty 18 to hit. So that takes
Pow, right in the kisser.
it to 22 to hit.
A 22 will definitely hit.
Make a will save, please.
Natural 1.
So that's 6 points of non-lethal damage and he's asleep.
I don't like this. I don't like this, Lindsay. You know that I don't like this.
So as he smacks him right in the jaw with a massive right hook, he's like, and he falls to the ground. Who's next?
You walk straight up to him. You knock him straight to the floor. He falls down. You see the sap that was in his hand that he was pulling out fall next to him. And the other 3 thugs just look at each other and says, Oi, here, Night Watch! Put down those weapons. You have assaulted one of the officers. Flopsy.
I believe you are in our district and you should put down your weapons and we shall come to some kind of resolution on this. Put them down or we shall attack.
You've already attacked a member of the watch. You're nicked, buddy.
Come at me, bro, I think is what the saying is. Come at me, bro.
You want to go dog?
Yeah, Flopsy, they're not backing down at all. They're, if anything, watching one of their members go down has made them even more irate, and they are more intent on.
And what
continuing
weapons have they
this.
got in their hand?
They've pulled out saps.
Saps. Flopsy's going to pull out the net that he got from the library robot
Perfect.
and throw it at the guy right at front with a ranged touch attack into combat. Are you in combat there, Miles?
No, he's walked up to a different guy and decked him out. There is not a.
Just
It's not into
stand up.
combat. And even though this is an exotic weapon, you don't take any negatives on this, I believe, because I think the exotic weapon proficiency allows you to fold that net quickly rather than throw the net. So I think it's just a ranged touch attack, no negatives.
Okay, so this guy is in trouble as the net comes flying at him. How does it's a natural 1. And if I add my strength check to that takes it to a 0.
It's not a strength check, it's a dex
A
check.
dex check. Excellent.
Natural ones always fail. The net comes flying at him. He kind of swipes it out of the air, grabs it, and just throws it off to the side.
For the fumble, I rolled a 19 plus 2 for dex is 21. Does that fumble?
It does not fumble. That hits his touch armor class. This is not a fumble, but your attack is unsuccessful. He kind of laughs at you and says, looks you up and down, and he says, "What were you going to do with that, mate? You ain't strong enough to hold me."
That's a warning throw.
You see Piera weaving her hands. She calls down, "May the Caden Kalin bless us all." And you feel a sprinkle of the smell of beer, I guess, comes raining down upon all of you. You feel a little stronger. You are now under a bless spell, and you have a +1 to hit.
Sweet.
That'll be good for Reggie.
Yeah.
Reg, it's your go.
Okay, so Reg is going to go running into the nearest impersonator of the watch and basically do a trip in place of his melee attack.
Sure.
That's 8 in total for my attack.
An 8 does not beat its CMD. Now, you do have improved trip as a feat. Yep. So they haven't moved anyway, so they don't get the attacks of opportunity against you.
Shitty dice.
We also have Jack Harker here. Jack Harker moves up to one of the thugs, the one on the floor, and just brandishes his holy symbol at him, pulls out a piece of garlic and just shoves it straight into his mouth. Just with a very satisfying nod, he goes, "This is fine." The 3 enemy combatants that are remaining on their feet, well, yes, on their feet, aren't they, Reg?
Yes, they
The
are.
one directly in front of you,
Ouch.
Reg, attempts to hit you with his sap in his hand. Goes, "Oi, impersonators, you're going straight to the watch house, old son," and attempts to hit you with an 18.
Oh, just.
And that will do, this is really nasty stuff. That will do 8 points of non-lethal damage as he smacks you with his sap.
That's really going to hurt.
Reg is not looking good.
That's really going to hurt.
The second thug who is on his feet, seeing Miles knocking out one of his friends, moves up to one side of Miles, and the third one moves up to the other side to get a flanking bonus.
Rot roll.
Rot row, indeed. Oh, I'm so happy right now. That is a 20 from the first one. And no, the second one is not going to hit you at all. It misses on a 13. It's not going to hit you, is it?
Correct, with mage armor on.
And so the sap manages to smack into you for, oh yes, that was 2 dice because sneak attack damage just happened.
Oh, flanked.
You are
Uh-oh.
flanked with sneak attack.
Get flanked.
Yep. That is going to be 10 points of non-lethal damage.
Ow.
Far out.
Far out.
Brussels
We're going to
sprout.
put you on the floor now, boy. Put you on the floor. You don't impersonate the watch. You can see one of their eyes flicks down. Are you wearing a coin purse at all? What would be the most valuable item that you would have on your character right now?
The gun.
You put the gun away though, didn't you?
No, the gas bow's in my
Yep.
coat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a belt pouch and the backpack from Decath, and that's it.
You can see it. His eyes move down and leers onto the belt pouch that is at your side. Says, "Ooh," and they kind of give each other a bit of an eyebrow raise while looking at your belt pouch. Miles, it's your go. Round number 2. The guy at your feet, he starts to stir.
So he's going to turn to one of the ones that's just smacked him, and he's going to turn to the one that smacked him and have another hit. Natty 15, so that takes it to a 19 to hit.
A 19 is definitely going to smash straight through their studded leather
I
armor.
also need him to make a will save, please.
Oh no, that is a will save of 6.
So that is 5 points of non-lethal damage, and then he falls asleep.
He is down on skis. He drops straight to the floor. Again, the sap that's in his hand falls out of his hand. His friend is still standing right next to you, though, and there's another guy at your feet who's kind of
Yeah, he'd be waking up now.
waking up. Flopsy, it's your go.
Flopsy's going to pull out a vial from his pouch, walk up to the guy who's just fallen asleep and say to the other 3 guys, "Is this your friend? Because he's about to get acid all over his face if you don't put your weapons down now. I don't care about not upsetting the peace. Put your weapons down. This is our first day on this bloody job and it's been too much and I just want a drink. Put it down."
Intimidate.
Natural 16 for a 14.
You can see they kind of their eyes shift to the side and they kind of look at him, then they look at you and they assess you, but it doesn't change their demeanor at all. You give him a little pause, but it doesn't exactly elicit the response that you want of fear. As a matter of fact, you even see one of their mouths curl up to the side as if, all right, go on, let's see what happens here. Are you doing anything else?
Well, no, I'll wait for them to drop their weapons.
Okay.
Ready in action.
Piara says, "I don't think these guys are from the Night Watch." And she moves all the way around outside of the battle to move up next to the bartender who was talking to the guys at the front. She says to him, "You better get yourself back inside where it's safe. This isn't going to go well." And that's her job done. Reg, it's your go.
So the flare. Now I do the flare?
No, not yet.
Okay. I'll flurry. The guy's still in front of me, yeah?
Yes.
So I tried to. Okay, so I'll flurry in the first melee attack I'll use to trip. So I'll come in with the camera and try and whip his feet out from underneath him on a fuck off.
You got blast.
13. Yeah, 13. If I could get double digits on the dice. So that obviously hasn't worked.
A 13 doesn't work. You're going to try it again?
No, I'm just going to go smack him in the face now.
Sure.
And no.
Oh, Reg, look, can you not give Lindsay any more ammunition to tell us how useless you are as a character, please? Every time.
He's
Every,
got-
The
every
character,
time.
the character's fine. It's the dice rolling. It's
He's
letting
good
me
at
down.
telling
I can't do
stories.
fucking anything with 3s and 9s and 2s, can I?
No, you can't. There are still 3 combatants in this fight. The first one that is up against Reg, he looks down at you and says, "Little man, you can't do anything. You're just a little boy." He swings his sap and you manage to duck out of the way as he rolls a natural 3.
It'll be his soon.
The guy on the floor in front of you, Miles, you see him grab the sap that's next to him on the floor and he just strikes straight up between your legs. Boom, from the floor position. He's not even going to bother to stand up. Oh, yeah, I'm rolling again because a natural 1 deserves a fumble roll, but then that was followed by a natural 19. So I don't think he
lucky.
fumbles, but he misses you as you kind of move out of the way. His friend standing next to you, though, is still there. I'm also going to roll secondly for that this could be actually close to another fumble. Does a 11 hit you?
No.
He just fumbled and fumbled badly.
Yes.
Okay, fumble. We are hitting the fumble charts. Let's hit a Paizo fumble card. Punt. Your weapon flies 2d6 squares in a random direction. Can you please roll a d8 for me, Lindsay? Hopefully this hits Miles right in the face.
That's a 3.
Reg, you mean?
Reg. Flopsy's probably the better one because PR is doing her job. At a 3, it flies wide. You see this sap fly straight out of his hand. He kind of looks down at his empty hand. He looks up at you. You see him look straight down to his belt where there's a knife.
Miles just smiles at him.
Miles Smiles.
Yeah, Miles.
There's a t-shirt there.
Yeah.
Miles Smiles.
Round 3, Miles, it's your go. The
The one-
guy at your feet, a second guy starts to stir.
The guy that just swung at him and dropped his weapon, he's going to smile and take a swing at him. Oh, that's a natty 1.
That's
Oh,
not
it's Fumble Town,
It's
man.
Fumbled.
So that is a 16 to confirm.
Oh, you are so lucky.
I'm just
you are
gonna-
so lucky.
I'm just double checking.
Beats it, beats
12
it.
4. Yep.
You are so lucky.
Thank you, bless.
Flopsy, it's your go. Please fumble. Fumble through.
Flopsy's sitting on top of a guy who's just waking up from slumber, right?
He's standing over the top of him with a flask in his hand.
With
Yes.
a vial of acid in his hand.
Yep. The guy's.
I warned you all. You didn't put your weapons down. Except for that man. Quite well done. And he will drop the acid on this guy. 5 foot step away and
Yep.
throw the acid at him.
Okay.
Acid in the face, you big disgrace.
Do you laugh like the Joker when you do this?
21 to hit.
Yes. 21's going to hit.
Jeez.
Anyone next to him?
Yes.
How many people?
There is Miles.
Me.
No, you're a bit further away.
I'm next to him.
So you 5-footed away, so you're not next to him anymore.
Yep.
Miles is definitely right over the top of him, and there would be at least one more thug right.
So
next
he
to him.
takes 8 points of acid damage.
Oh, that is nasty.
And everyone next to him takes 1 point of acid damage as it flies into the air and splashes on everyone.
That is absolutely horrible.
Now, put your weapons down as he pulls out 2 more vials.
What the fuck? I said non-lethal.
Are you dead?
Pierre's eyebrows shoot to the top of her head. Once again, every second battle, she's told to use non-lethal, then she uses lethal, then she's told to use lethal again, and she has no idea what's going on. She pushes the bartender inside the Red Sail Tavern. She runs down onto the floor, pulling out her crossbow at the same time, and she says, "None of you move, I've got this!" And she loads her crossbow at the same time.
That's right, Pierre. Get rid of witnesses.
Drop your weapons, like he said, or you're all going to get acid in the face.
Fire next time.
You can see Jack Harker pull out 2 stakes, one in each hand. He's got these just pointed stakes in his hands, and he walks up to next to one of them and says, "You may not be a vampire, but these still will kill you if I put them through your heart. Drop your weapons, like the man said." Reg, it's your go.
So Reg's taking a big puff. Is going to, disappointed with his performance here, is going to try once again while flurrying to start with the trip move. 15. Is that trip?
Hey, Reg, there is no bless that's attached to that, is there?
Yeah.
You added it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And flanking?
Oh, am I flanking?
No.
Okay.
You miss. Unfortunately, Reg, once again, you miss your trip attack.
Okay. So then follows in with the just straight smash to the nuts with a 21.
That's definitely going to
Would
hit.
you like them eggs? He's getting frustrated now.
Oh, he's breaking those
Yep.
eggs.
Not strike.
3 points of damage.
Damage or non-lethal?
No, he's going damage now. He's losing his temper. He's getting little man syndrome.
This is the first time you've hit him too, isn't it?
Yeah, right in the nuts. Bam!
How do you non-lethal a nut strike?
That's true.
I don't know.
This
King
guy's
can
not going to be having any
incapactate
children,
pretty
that's for sure.
So the enemy look at you. The one in front of you, Reg, just goes, "Ah!" And he attempts to strike out at you with his sap. That is going to be an 18 to hit you.
No. Yeah, that hits.
Ooh. So, Reg, how many hit points have you got?
3 left. Right, well, hang on. So you stack the lethal and non-lethal.
So where lethal and non-lethal meet each other, you become unconscious. Say you've got 10 hit
So
points.
I had, hang on. So I had 6 HP that I'd taken damage
Yep,
from lethal, and then I've taken 10 from non-lethal. So how much is that in total?
16.
So it is 16.
How many hit points have you got in total?
On my character sheet?
Yes.
19.
19. So you have 3.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you just took 4 points of damage.
So I'm unconscious.
You fall to the floor.
Bullshit.
And the thug over the top of you just stands up, looks at the rest of his friends. He's looking at the net on the floor that Flopsy threw at him, and he's looking around at Piera, who's got a crossbow in her hand, assessing the scene. You can see that. There are 2 thugs in front of you. Miles, the one that threw his sap away last time, pulls his dagger out. He attacks you with his dagger. That is going to be a 16 to slice at you.
That hits.
7 points of damage.
Miles also slumps to the floor.
The other thug spits garlic out of his mouth, and he stands up, gathering his sap. The 4th thug, who has acid on his face, is starting to wipe the acid off of his face. He takes a flask of water out, pours it over his face, stands up, and just withdraws down the street. He starts running away. He doesn't know where he's going. You can see he's blind a little bit, but he can kind of see because that's how that
Can you
works.
get an attack of opportunity when he stands up?
Don't have a
Flopsy,
weapon.
Oh.
you have next to you a thug with a dagger out who's just dropped Miles, and you have another thug that just stood up with a sap in his hand. The thug that was near Reg says, "Screw this, boys. This ain't worth 40 silver. Let's get out of here." And he moves out down the street a little bit. Miles,
Stabilize.
you are just unconscious. So right now you just fell to the floor.
Yeah. Yep.
So-
I'm unconscious.
Oh, someone just did to you what you like to do to them.
Mhm.
How does it feel, Miles?
So smug.
I'm really tempted to have Tippy like fly up and peck this guy.
That could happen as well. Flopsy, you are one of the few people standing right now.
Piara, perhaps you can see to Reginald and bring him back up, or do one of those lovely bursty things as I take this guy with the dagger out and I stare daggers back at that guy, walk up to 5 feet, 10 feet from him, and throw a bomb at him. It's a natural 16 to hit.
16 strikes.
Touch
true.
attack. 5 points of minimum damage to him and minimum damage to everyone surrounding him.
Which is?
5 points. And Flopsy will say, "Drop your weapon. I can do this all day."
So the guy with garlic also
All day.
cops a
Question.
massive amount. That also gets Miles as well, doesn't it?
Yep.
Is that the question you were going to ask, Lindsay?
That is the question I was going to ask.
Oh, this is going badly. I'm loving it.
What happens now? Now do I start needing to stabilize?
Are you negative?
So until your actual hit points go below 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because essentially you're knocked out, but you're not dying
Cool.
until your body takes that amount of damage.
Hang on, I'm confused. What? So if you're in a negative hit points and you've been put down there by non-lethal damage,
Yeah, you're only unconscious.
you're only unconscious. All
You
right.
bleed out once you take significant amounts of damage. Piara, surveying the battlefield, she can see that 2 of her fellow watchmates are down. She assesses that perhaps Miles is out of her reach right now, moves straight in between all of you. She's kind of looking back and forth and she says, "Caden, Kaelin, give me the power to heal." And a burst of healing energy spits straight from her, expanding outwards. And she heals everybody within 30 feet of her, and she heals them all 4 points.
So that'll heal 4 points of lethal and 4 points of non-lethal simultaneously.
Oh, really?
Yup.
Yep. It will also heal the thugs.
How you looking,
And if
Miles?
that brings you back under your threshold, you wake up.
I'm still out.
I just
Wow.
did 5 points of lethal, so
Wow. All right.
but
And you-
stabilized.
Yeah. Yeah. Never was unstabilized.
You could see Jack Harker walk up behind the guy with the dagger in his hand. He says, "You will not attack a man who is down on the floor." And you could see both of his stakes strike out, and neither of them hit. Neither of them. But he tries to stab him twice with 2 stakes. One in each hand. Reg, are you awake?
Yes. Little Reg's eyes snap wide open.
It is your go then.
I survey from the ground where I am. What's going on? Is anybody near me? Like bad guys? Anybody over me
No,
anymore?
the only bad guys that are still around are surrounding the fallen body of Miles. There's the guy who's spitting out garlic still, and the other guy with the dagger in his hand.
Okay, so from the floor, I clap my hands together and I just pull them gently apart. And as I'm doing that, this blue light is building in between, and I'm going to burst.
Yep.
4 points of healing.
4 points of healing for everyone. So the guy, even the guys who are the combatants,
Sure.
even the bad guys get healed.
Yeah,
by
that's cool. It's cool. Do I get that as well or not?
Yeah, you get that.
Sweet.
Everybody gets that. So 2 rounds of healing have just gone off. One from Piara, one from the newly clericized Reginald.
And I can still stand up then, yeah?
And you can still stand up.
Okay.
The enemy with the garlic in his hand spits it out and runs down the street. He sees that his friends have moved away. He's not taken any more of this. He can see that the remaining guy, he's like, "It's not worth it, mate. Get out of here." And he bolts down the street, leaving the dagger-wielding ruffian as the only person left. And he is being flanked by the unconscious body of Miles and Jack Harker,
Flopsy's right next to him. Oh, 10 feet away.
10 feet away.
Thing is, Miles is now conscious.
Okay, Miles, then it's your go.
From the ground, he's just going to Ghost Fist, Hex Strike. Not the punch. He's just going to do the actual Hex. So I just need a will save, please.
Haven't you already done this guy?
No, the guy with the knife was the one that I failed.
That
Yeah, if you fail it, can you still do
No,
it?
because I was doing the punch. I wasn't getting the Hex off because I was missing the punch.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you hex strike him. That is, he falls unconscious.
Right on top of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dagger out.
Yeah,
Get
you
this
just,
guy off
you
me.
just happen to have your. Oh, okay, he's got a dagger out already.
He falls unconscious, dagger out. And you find combat ceases. You have an unconscious thug that is at your feet right now.
Could
You're looking bloodied. You're looking battered. You're looking horrible. But right within inside is the sucker. That is the Red Sail Tavern and the smell of food and drink and the sound of merriment that is maybe shut down a little bit, but it's starting to, it's over. They're fine. And then, and it comes straight back on again. And we'll see you next time.
Well, I thought that was going to be the end for a bit.
I tell you what, I was like, I've got rebuke death, I've got channel positive energy, I've got all this stuff, but I'm unconscious, so I
none of
can't
that
do a
works when
damn
you're
thing.
unconscious, yeah.
I swore I was going to get finished off by Flopsy.
Yeah, that was at the end. I guess the question now is, what are you going to do with an unconscious bug? This is the first time you've had someone at this.
Well, we're going to have to kill him, obviously, with Goody Grant, he's unconscious.
Jack Harker is the man for the job.
We're just going to get Pierre to do it.
vampire.
I reckon get Piera to take him back to the watchtower.